Bitcoin breaks to the upside, getting very close to a busted symmetrical triangle, an extremely bullish move for Bitcoin if it can pull it off. And what does $48,000 Bitcoin have to do with that exact move? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way in. Let's just jump into this Bitcoin video. I have a lot to cover, so here we go. This is Bitcoin on the 6-hour chart. For just full context, in case you missed it, this is from January 21st, 4 days ago. If it doesn't get 10% or so of the way, around 10% of the way, and continue to the downside, but instead actually pulls back to the trend line, we could have a busted symmetrical triangle in play. And so this is how this has progressed. Now, in that video, shortly after that, I discussed that 10% rule. We kind of add another 5%, 15% to that rule because of Bitcoin volatility. Now, this is based off, and I'm going to put a link. A lot of you are asking for a link to this, thepatternsight.com. This data has served us so well on this YouTube channel. I'm going to put this website in the description below. Check it out if you want. But these are the rules. This is the data. This is based off of a lot of trades, Bolkowski, and this is where I use a lot of my technical analysis, but I do adjust some things because Bitcoin is very volatile compared to probably a lot of the trading that he did and a lot of this data. But we're getting that 10% of the move that he talks about to the downside before reversal, right? So here's what it looks like, kind of like a fake breakout to the downside, 10% down, reversal to the key trend line. Now, in that video, I discussed 15% is probably a good area to watch for in terms of Bitcoin volatility before it bounce, and that's around what we've gotten. If we look at Bitcoin out of that breakout area, that swing low was right around 15, 16%. So we got the bounce. It needed to happen. It did happen, and now we're once again approaching this trend line right here. Now, what is a busted symmetrical triangle? I want to break this down for you. If we go back, and you can read this as well, if we go back to some of these rules, what Bitcoin would need to do now is pierce the top and close at C, above the top of the triangle. So if you can see here, he has it basically that swing high, that first swing high of the triangle. Bitcoin needs to bust that. And then we're going to see 10% move to the upside from that area. Now, what that looks like for Bitcoin, again, some volatility. I added 5%. This is really how I approach Bitcoin, and I've approached Bitcoin. So let's go look at this chart. Here's the swing high of that symmetrical triangle, $42,000. This busted symmetrical triangle is just maybe potentially getting in play. We have to break through the apex first. We're not there. We got the pullback, which is the first step. We need to break the apex. We need to see bullish continuation. Yes, to $42,000. That's a swing high back here. And not only that, really our targets from that area, our bullish target in just a crazy bullish environment for Bitcoin will be 10% to 15% to the upside, right around $48,000 Bitcoin, potentially in play if this busted symmetrical triangle plays out. Now, I had a comment last night. Somebody said, Dan, like you're just kind of grasping at straws here. You're kind of reaching. I forget exactly what the comment said, but I'm not. I'm just presenting the data, everybody, because these things happen so often. How in this video was I talking about a pullback? It's not because I know anything special. It's just the data has historically been so consistent, and just look how the charts played out. We're getting that pullback to the symmetrical triangle. That doesn't mean we're just all of a sudden in crazy bullish mode, but it is setting up potentially to happen. And here's what we're looking at. Here's how we want to see this play out. Here's Bitcoin on the daily chart. I want to talk about a few things. Some confluent resistance just straight ahead for Bitcoin from where it is right now. If you look at this chart from where Bitcoin is up to that 20-day moving average, 5% or so to the upside, there's a ton of resistance. And this is the exact resistance you want to watch for in the short term. I'm talking about today. Maybe today we trade sideways into tomorrow, right? But either way, the very short term. And we have a few different things going on here. We have that green line, the 20-day moving average, huge resistance for Bitcoin. We have a 786 line that I want to talk about that is almost perfectly confluent with that. That's that last swing high on this red candle. This was January 19th to that little swing low that we just had into the 20,000s. And you can see, if I zoom in here, Bitcoin right here at the 786 line, almost perfectly confluent at $36,000 with the 20-day moving average. Now, the last piece of confluence, it's simply put, it's the apex of the symmetrical triangle. $36,000 is extreme resistance for Bitcoin. So right now, Bitcoin, if we go back and we look at, something like even this hourly chart, you can see Bitcoin made a little bit of a move. We got a break. I mean, last night's video, I was doing a video right as Bitcoin's breaking out of this falling channel. We're getting a break to the upside. I think in the $35,000 was 35,000 plus was the target out of this. Right now, consolidating a little bit. Maybe we get that move to that area, to this apex area, this lower trend line. But this is what Bitcoin's doing on the short term. But truly, even though we're getting a move and we got to bounce, we truly did. If you look at this swing low right here, even from just yesterday, Bitcoin is up 10%. And if you look at it from the other day, Bitcoin's up 18% or so. So that's a really solid move for Bitcoin, but it's nowhere near in bullish territory yet. We have a ton of resistance, and looking at the hourly chart, this is what it looks like. This $36,000, that's the apex, that's a 20-day moving average, and it's at 786 line of that Fibonacci, right? And I can even trace it right here on the hourly chart, so you get a really good sense of what it looks like. It's a swing high to swing low, and you can see Bitcoin right there at the 786 line. Just a crazy amount of confluent resistance. But the case is playing out, everybody, for what we talked about, what we've anticipated. It's the busted symmetrical triangle. $48,000 Bitcoin is truly kind of that next step. If Bitcoin's just in a crazy bullish environment, it's the next step for Bitcoin. It is in play. This resistance area at $36,000 is the biggest stepping stone for Bitcoin to get to that area. So I want to just say this. If there's resistance, all where Bitcoin is right now, this entire area, that 786 line, 20-day moving average, apex, down to the 618 line of the Fibonacci, where Bitcoin essentially is right now, this could just be Bitcoin getting ready to kind of fall and continue to the $24,000 target, which is 100% still in play out of that symmetrical triangle. So please keep that in mind. And I want to point this out on the 6-hour chart. Let me zoom in real quick. We kind of have this new formation happening right now. If we look at Bitcoin, what we want to do is, I'll just paint it. We have this kind of new lower or upper trend line, right? We have a lower trend line that swing low into the 20,000s, this higher low, and you can see this isn't perfect, but it's a rising wedge. So we want to keep an eye on that. So on the very, very short term, if you want to track if Bitcoin's going to consolidate back down, there's still some support. That previous swing low to swing high currently, we have a potential for just a higher low. If Bitcoin's going to just make us bored today, we come back down, we put in a higher low, and Bitcoin's kind of in this rising wedge trading around. So support on the very short term, 32,500 down to around 31,700. A move like that could happen. Bitcoin can still continue to put in a busted symmetrical triangle. But I'm telling you, $48,000 in play right now for Bitcoin. I'm not trying to overhype Bitcoin, be overly bullish, but let's see what altcoins do. Let's see what crypto markets do going into this week. A lot of things happening and in store for Bitcoin for sure. Remember, this rising channel, this rising wedge, oftentimes you see Bitcoin breaking to the upside of these things. A lot of people get bearish in these moves, but Bitcoin, especially when testing a very key trend line of resistance, Bitcoin puts in these rising channels and just makes a crazy move, defies the odds, it breaks to the upside. But keep in mind, this could be the stepping stone. If Bitcoin falls through $28,000 target or so, this could be the stepping stone to that $24,000 more bearish target on the short term. This is what I'm tracking on the short term. Wanted to cover it. Time for me to go chill with the fam today. I hope you're having an awesome day. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.